You're on page test.
We're on the page?
Huh?
Where on the page?
Oh, we're on the page. That will have to decide. Oh, we will start on Oish Lamed Tes, or Tes Lamed, after the Kitzer.
Tes Lamed, okay, but AYIN.
If we go into the Kitzer, it's going to take us as long as the whole...
Yeah. That's a kid's this.
We're constantly doing reviewing it, so we'll go to the Kitzer, by the way we learn.
Morning.
Good morning, Shlomo.
Oh, good morning, Shlomo. I have this hold, it doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Okay, so we are.
Okay, so let's see where we are.
We're going to start the next days. Tas Lamed or Lamed Tes.
Okay,
Can you pass me a book?
I didn't figure out what a series of spheres yesterday. We went from Rotzon to explain what Rotzon, and then as we were explaining Rotzon, the Rebbe brought in Amunah, and that it's sourced in Kesser. How did that work? That it went from a discussion of Rotzon to the topic of Amunah?
Fair enough. Let me give you the rundown how this thing has been presented. We are essentially talking about Chochmah. Chochmah is one of the Koiches HaNefesh, one of the spheres that, so to speak, we're familiar with. This is what we are dealing with. In explaining Chochmah, we came to the deeper aspect of Chochmah. We say Chochmah is beyond Tam B'das, beyond full comprehension. But we are modifying that. It is not completely beyond Tam B'das. It cannot be hasoga, comprehension, mesas and Chochmah. But knowledge, you know what it is. That is in Chochmah. How do you understand that? In contrast to something which is beyond that, even knowledge, and that is Kesser. This is where we're contrasting Kesser to Chochmah, and we're saying Chochmah is beyond Hasoga, but it's not beyond knowledge, beyond Seichel. Kesser, one idea was made beyond Kesser, beyond Seichel altogether, you go to Kesser. What's in Kesser? How do we define it? There's many things. One way to define Kesser is the union from Rotzon. Rotzon is totally beyond grasp. Not grasp like Hasoga, or knowledge. What is it? Where does it come from? Says, there is no source and basis and explanation for us. As we explain, if it is no, where does it come from? The answer is this is the godly presence in the nefesh.
What was the purpose of... Yeah, okay.
Finish your question.
Yeah.
In the bringing out the union from Rotzon. I say Rotzon is beyond comprehension, beyond Seichel, but that's the Rotzon the way it is in essence. What about the Rotzon when it comes forth in Begili? He says even when the Torah comes begili, it comes begili in the form of amuna, which is totally beyond. You have no way of putting your finger on it. Even though amuna is already the gili of Ratzon, it's already, so to speak, closer to the realm of seichel, but it is still completely beyond seichel because there is not a real knowledge of what the amuna is about. Where does it come from? Amuna, seichel, even chokhmah, has constant ins and out. I'm aware, I'm not aware. I'm thinking of it, I'm not thinking of it. This is in all kavod nefesh. Emunah does not have these two states. That's what's called emunah. Emunah means steadfast, no variations. That's embedded in the nefesh organ. So this is how this.
So the Amunah was brought to show the part of Chokhmah, an aspect of Chokhmah that is in so to speak the realm of Yediyah, but not in a graspable manner.
No.
Okay. What's the
one second. That for that it is necessary to examine what it says. It's necessary to. This is blatantly stated. Emunah is the gilui of Ratzon, not Chokhmah. It may be the basis of Chokhmah, but it's not Chokhmah. Chokhmah, I said, Chokhmah is Idiyah. Idiyah has variations. Emunah has no variations. What then is Emunah? Emunah is Ratzon at the Gilui level. Let me put this in our simple terms, if I may. Ratzon, even the Ratzon that we possess, we have a Ratzon. We have no explanation why we have the Ratzon. We have a Ratzon because the REBBE wants us to have this Ratzon. And we completely accept that. Here's what the REBBE is boss. This is what you want me to know, to want, I want it. Ratzon does not come by choice. There is no choice in the person. I want to live or I don't want to live. He doesn't have such choice.
So this what you just said that Ratzon is the Gilui of Ratzon is Emunah. Is this?
One second.
Yes.
Okay. If you repeat it so verbatim is like this. Can I explain? You can look inside. It says the Gilui of Ratzon really is in Rusa de Liba. That's the full impact of Ratzon. If Ratzon should be in Yisgala, should be known in Seichel, in the mind, it is in the form of Emunah.
It is in the
Form Emunah. All of these things that we just now said are literally stated in that little top section. Except, I understand that it's a little elusive, but nonetheless, if you follow it through, this is exactly what it says. We only added a little bit of an explanation and saying what we're talking about, but this is exactly what it says. And the reason you brought in Ratzon is in order to contrast it to Chokhmah, so that we can understand Chokhmah. That's our focus. Okay, now Tell me if that clarifies you.
So this momentary focus of Emunah to explain Rotzen, the Gili of Rotzen, and here we're looking at a contrast.
Okay, go ahead. No, don't. Let it be spoiled. Don't be spoiled. Learn to talking about Rotzen and Kesed, you let it spoil from the little camera. No.
So, is this this statement about Emunah? Is this to also to clarify, to contrast Chochmah?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. He says, when Rotzen does come begili in Seichel, it is in the form of Emunah, which is also totally beyond understanding. It is so solid, so steadfast, it doesn't even vary under different circumstances. Like I mentioned all the time. Okay, you got it clear? I don't want to confuse you. One principle in Chochmah that we can readily say, Chochmah is compared to sight. On the lower level, on Gashmis, it is represented by sight.
I just want to, Shlomo Yonason, I told you a few times, I don't want to be on camera.
That's Shlomo.
But what's with this camera here? This one on the table. I ask you not to do it. No, over and over again I've asked you not to do it, and you want to be a Hollywood producer. Not everybody, but that I asked you several times.
I'll tell you one thing. This anger is contrary to everything we're learning. You just cancel out everything we learned. Start all over again. Ask him Mechila and start all over again. This anger kills us. I'm telling you.
But my request.
It makes a difference.
Several times.
I'm telling you again.
Okay.
The request is a request, but anger is contrary to everything we're learning.
So okay. So if I'm supposed to ignore, is he supposed to ignore my request?
I know what he's supposed to do.
I'll ask Mechila first. I'm sorry.
It is not. I'm telling you, what he did not cancel out what we're learning. What you did cancel out. You threw it out. You threw it out into the garbage. Right there. With your own hands. You had right there. We don't realize what we're doing to ourselves. We let ourselves go, oh, he didn't listen to me. Boom.
Okay. I ask your forgiveness.
Forgive me. I'm sorry I distracted you.
We have to remember, we are very sensitive creatures. One little turn and we're completely off track. We can lose sight of our own neshama. Look at the whole world. How do you think the world got so confused? They thought, oh, I can find my own way. Okay, they find their own way. And they find the monkey as their ancestor.
Was explained.
Yes, go ahead. What?
Was explained that Rotzen is not cool, and personally was said because where is it coming from?
I can't hear you,
What
Roshman.
in hot?
I can't hear you. Can you make it?
Let's say again, repeat, maybe. Again?
I'm a little louder.
Yes, now.
Oh, this is good. What happened now?
I know.
He's talked into the mic.
Oh, yeah, speaking to the mic.
It was said that Rotzen is beyond Peichel because where is it coming from? And why can't we ask the same question on Chochmah? Where is it coming from?
Oh no. That's Rotten is beyond Seichel, not because where it's coming from. Even when you're experiencing it, you have no way of identifying what you have. Chochmah, you know what you have. You know what you know. Like I said, Chochmah is the most of Chochmah at the lower level is sight. Sight. When you see, even though your sight is totally automatic, without effort, you open your eyes and everything is there. Everything that's visible is immediately coming to the forefront. You don't create that sight. It is created for you, completely, effortless. Nonetheless, this is what I started to before. It is within the realm of knowledge. Where do we see that? Because you can close your eyes and not see it. You cannot close your eyes to Rotz or to Amunah, but you can close your eyes to Chochmah. That level of awareness. So why do we say when we are able to see and not to see, this makes it Tzeichel? I heard that it was said that Amunah means that it's always. Tzeichel means that it comes and goes. This is the... What is knowledge? Knowledge means I can know and not know. That's even different. That's the definition of knowledge.
That's Prim Shabiyabusha.
What?
That's the point of like Prim Shabiyabusha. We are outside of it.
Really, yes, but this one is not going to help us understand this what we're discussing. This is one of our Piyus HaNefesh. Immediately we think of something, we need to bring all things that we discuss into it. Okay, it's true, but it's not necessary. It's more confusing to do this.
What HaNefesh?
Pizur.
Pizur, okay.
You have to stay focused. But it's true, but it doesn't. This is not the way to explain it, to understand it. This is in contrast of a human being against the fish. We're not contrasting human being, we're contrasting Chochmah to Keser.
No, I mean to say that the point of Prim Shabiyabusha is that it's outside of us and we know it. That's the same Nakuda. That's how I was trying to understand.
It is true, but I'd like you to examine your own thinking. When you say, I see this, would you say, I see it because a moment ago I didn't see it? Or I see it directly because it's there? What is the experience of sight? I see it because it's there or because a moment ago I didn't see it? When you say I hear, it is because a moment ago I didn't hear.
Because I see it.
Huh? No, I hear because there's a noise that's coming into my ear that a moment, if it didn't come, I wouldn't hear it. A moment ago I didn't hear it. Sight doesn't have that process. I see it because it's there to see, without any effort on my part. I'm not aware that I could not see it. That we need a little insight, a little explanation, in contrast to Keser, to Rotz. Do I have you with me?
I'm listening to you.
Okay. So we have to...
But to sum up, what's the point? Yeah. What's the point? By knowledge we say we know it because we're able not to know it. This is what
I wanted to contrast Chochmah to Keser. That's it. Chochmah to Amun. What's the difference? Amun.
But it's the point is, but not that makes it Tzeichel because I'm able to see and not to see. But
no, of course not. Of course not. That's why I said hearing is talking because of contrast. Sight is not. Chokhmah is you see the reality itself directly. That's why we confuse Chokhmah with the Emunah many times. Yes.
Why then is it that we often see things only because okay, sometimes if you don't expect to see something in a certain place, you won't see it. If you expect your glasses to be in the drawer, but they're really in front of you on your desk, you might not see them. You'll go to the drawer.
No. You're misexpressing it. You may not notice them.
Okay.
Not you won't see them.
Well, how is that different from hearing something that you're not listening to?
No. Hearing something is not nothing to do with not listening. If it does not disrupt you, if it does not come as a sudden change of moment, there's no such thing as hearing. Sight is not dependent on that.
This is.
Please, it's not necessary to argue. Think. The Gemara says, "Trei kol lo mishtam." Two voices cannot be heard. You can see multiple things right around you in one glance.
Will you really see them?
You see them. Do you see this? You open your eyes. What do you see? Just the wall, or you see everything else on the wall?
Right now, all I can see is you.
No. You're focused on me.
Right.
No, come on.
You can't see what you
cannot pay attention.
Right.
There's a difference between paying attention and seeing.
Can one really see what one is not paying attention to?
I don't know. You answer that. It's just so ridiculous. You don't want to think. You answer that question.
I have, but I don't.
We are just stubbornly sticking to not understanding. Of course, you can see without paying attention to it. What kind of question is that?
Peripheral vision.
Peripheral or even direct vision.
Yeah, that's also true.
This is why, as you're walking and there's a stoop, sometimes you need to be alerted to, hey, there's a stoop. Pay attention. You didn't see that they didn't pay attention to it. To say you didn't see it is ridiculous.
I know you have a different definition from seeing than I do.
Okay, so now let's align it. Let's align it. Sight, I explained many times. Sight is effortless. Totally effortless. You open your eyes and everything that's there to be seen is right there. You don't need to pay attention to it. You don't need to focus in. You see it immediately. That's what sight is.
How is that different from smell or any other sense?
No, smell has to enter your nostrils. Smell is
light
not.
has to enter into my eye.
No, okay, that's where we come to the Torah. Wrong. Because we have this interpretation of sight, this idiotic interpretation of sight.
It's not idiotic.
No, it is idiotic. It's not true.
Everybody is an idiot.
Everybody is an idiot because they don't learn the Torah.
Well,
Sight.
I shouldn't have to learn Torah to know what I'm seeing.
Shmuel. Learn what you're being taught right here.
Absorb it.
No, not absorb. No, Shmuel, this is ridiculous. Every time we start all over again. Listen. We spoke many times the difference between day and light, and a focused light. How many times did we speak about it? If not 100? And we all understood what it is. We have to go right back over. Day and light, focus light, are two different worlds. The camera sees and the human being sees, it's not the same thing. Absolutely.
The camera doesn't see anything, but the eye, but unless the human being had two cameras in his head, he wouldn't see anything.
Shmuel, you want to stick to this, or you want to understand what I'm explaining to you? If you don't want to understand, there's no way. I'm not going to waste my time.
What you're saying does not fit with my experience.
It doesn't have to fit in the experience. You learn from what you're being taught here in Torah.
So nobody, until the Torah was given, until the Baal Shem Tov revealed this, nobody saw anything.
They saw. Everybody saw, but they did not understand what's happening in this experience.
That's paying attention.
That's not paying attention.
That's seeing the iyur.
Shmuel, let me alone. Get out of here.
Rabbi, do we say that
Wait a second. Anybody who comes here, you wanna learn here, or you don't want to learn? You don't want to learn, so don't come. You already left. You came back. Baruch Hashem. You're welcome. But you came back with the negative approach. No, you see it because that's the way the camera sees. Just the way the goyim explain what sight is. But this is not the way we learn it. We went over this 10 times.
I know.
You never try to understand it. You stick to that because it's the easiest thing. It's a Gashmisik worldly explanation. But that is not what it is. Sight is a neshama inyan. Sight is comparable to chokhmah, not even bina.
It's a kayach? We're saying it's a kayach.
Yeah.
You have a kayach inside of you. It comes from inside of you.
Yes, hello.
For a lot of things too.
It's different kinds of
One
kayach.
second.
Seeing and hearing is two.
One second, Shah. What?
That's a point.
Go ahead, Baruch.
Say something to Shmuel. Shmuel, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Everybody else is sitting there together with you listening to Rabbi Paltiel and some of us on the phone.
Right.
And everybody else is trying to understand what Rabbi Paltiel, even if we, at least at one point, trying to understand what Rabbi Paltiel is saying, which he's speaking the voice of the Rebbe RASHAB, the voice of Torah. And if we don't understand it, the first thing we do is we say, okay, let me think about that and see if I can try to understand. Try to understand what he's saying on the assumption that what he's saying is probably more correct, more true than what I think beforehand. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be learning Torah. I'd be going to Harvard and learning what I learned there. Okay? Every one of us is going through that experience, Shmuel. And to go through it, you have to quiet down your own objections and questions that come from having gone to Harvard or wherever else it is.
No, I have the objections not from going to Harvard.
Just please, Shmuel, it doesn't matter. Wherever you went, wherever you grew up.
I didn't go. This is the way I...
All right, shut up.
It doesn't matter.
Shut up. You have no right to talk. You want to be here, you want to ask questions, come after class to my house. Don't ask any questions during class. You're disrupting the whole learning.
You took now, I'm up here at 6 o'clock in the morning to listen
All right.
to this.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You're taking away my time.
Day in, day out. You're welcome to come, and we've done it in the past. We can sit and discuss it. But here you just come, you're destroying the whole class. You're not even trying to understand. You want to argue. You want to show me that we're wrong. What kind of thing is this? All right, we go back to Oistal. Tes Lamed Tes. The further elaboration of what we just finished saying. The union of Chokhmah and Bina. And we're saying that Chokhmah is also within the realm of knowledge, but not within the realm of graspable knowledge. Whereas Bina, that is where it comes on to the graspable level. Now we're going to further deeper into this. The meaning of this is, the principal difference between Chochmah and Bina. In other words, yes, indeed, the experience of Chochmah is quite different than the experience of Bina. What is the cause for this experience, for this difference? What is the principal difference? Why do we need Chochmah for? Why do we need Bina for? They're both Seichel, why do we need them both? The principal difference between Chochmah and Bina is the Chochmah toifes be'etzem hadover. That Chochmah toifes grasps. Grasp means it relates to. It relates to the etzem hadover, the essence of the thing. And we will discuss it in a moment. Ubina and Bina, toifes relates and grasps rad b'mitzius hadover, only in the mitzius hadover. As I said, we'll discuss it briefly now. This is just an introduction, first step. What is Mitzias Hadover and Etzem Hadover? Mitzias Hadover means how the thing is presented, how it is visible, how you can touch it, how it is presenting itself in your world. Etzem Hadover is how the thing is unto itself. It's a real thing. You see it because it's real, not because it is calling your attention, because it's making it, it's saying, look at me. It is an essence. Essence means it is something which is true to itself. Chochmah is toifes, relates to that level of truth, because it's true to itself. That's what. There's much to elaborate on this. I just want to give us a very gross type of a demonstration of what we mean by Etzem Hadover. Even though this is, again, a gross and very superficial thing. Nonetheless, just a first step. We spoke about the robotic speech and human speech. When the robot speaks, you cannot tell the difference in the speech, whether it's a robot or a human being speaking. But there's a profound difference. The difference is the robot is only the mitzias of speech. There's nothing behind it. When you listen to a human being speak, you don't listen to his words. You listen to the speaker. There's an essential reality behind that speech, and that is what you're paying attention to. Not what the words are saying, but what is he saying? What is behind those words? What's it? Etzem Hadover. Chochmah is toifes be'etzem Hadover. Bina is toifes b'rag b'mitzias Hadover. Why does Rebbe add the word rag b'mitzias Hadover? Why is it not enough to say toifes b'mitzias Hadover? Okay, I put myself into this quandary because if you pay attention, I'd like to explain to you something. True, Bina is toifes b'mitzias Hadover. But when we listen to a robot speak, when we listen to a human being speak, in any case, we never listen to the same human being the same way as we listen to a robot. Or a robot to be listen to a human being, no matter what it is. At the Chochmah level, at the Bina level. There is never a real comparison, even at the Chitzonius level.
I'm not getting this. We just established that externally they do sound similar or identical.
They sound identical, but this is not what we are grasping. We are grasping just the external. Okay, I'll explain to you. This is what the Rebbe adds in the word rak.
Yeah.
It's true that you hear the Bina takes the Mitzias Adom, but it is aware that behind the Mitzias there is a whole thing. He's taking the rak, only the Mitzias of the real thing. That's what Bina is. Bina is not merely the Mitzias. Then what's the point?
Rak is that it's coming from Chachma.
That's right.
Wow.
Only Mitzias of that reality.
Okay.
This is the sensitivity of the word rak.
You would think the opposite.
This is it, right? Can we go another? No, this is it. Okay.
Okay.
Be well. Have a great day.
Does anybody object to putting this audio on the WhatsApp?
No, so go ahead.
No objection. No objection.
We'll let you ask.
Okay.